Hi, my name is Tori Addai, and the book that I read was called Look at Me by Jennifer Egan. This book was a fiction book. This talks about a model named Charlotte Swanson who goes back to Rockford, Illinois, her hometown, to visit her family and friends. On her way there, she gets into a terrible car accident, which causes her face to change as a completely different person. So throughout the book, we're learning how she learned self-confidence, getting back comfortable in her skin, because she went from going to this one beautiful person into another beautiful person just in a different way. So we just learn about how she gains her self-love again. My favorite passage that stuck out to me the most throughout the book had to be in chapter 1, where it said, I found myself at a strange crossroads. I'd spent my youth awaiting the chance to bolt from Rockford, Illinois, and had done so the moment I was able to. I'd visit rarely, to the chagrin of my parent and sister, and what visit I made were impetuous, cranky, and short. In my real life, as I thought of it, I had actively concealed my connection to Rockford, telling people I was from Chicago, if I even told them that. But as much as I longed to return to New York after the accident, to pad barefoot on the fluffy white carpeting of my 25th floor apartment overlooking the East River, the fact that I lived alone made this possible. My right leg and left arm were chefed in plaster, and my face was just entering the angry healing phase, and black bruises were coming on my face. This quote definitely taught me not to be so quick to leave from my hometown and not to hide the fact of where I'm from. Throughout the book, when people asked her, "Oh, where are you from?" she was trying her best to dodge that question because she hated her hometown so much. But it's weird because when she goes back to her hometown, it's like she's in a whole nother atmosphere. She doesn't know how to act. And your hometown says a lot about you as a person. So I think what really is important is when you're in your hometown or where you're from right now, you should really take the time to appreciate it and to always never be scared of telling people, yeah, I'm from here, because it says a lot about you as a person. It says where you grew up from. It says, how you are as a human being. What I hope to gain from this book was definitely learning self-confidence, definitely learning how to be comfortable in my skin, especially in a new phase, as in where she is in. If I were ever to be into a phase like that, how would I learn how to love myself all over again? That was definitely one of the things that I hope to learn from this book. What this book helped me realize about myself is that it takes time to gain self-confidence. It takes time to gain self-love. It's not going to take a day. It's not going to take a week. Sometimes it takes people years. Some people it takes people days. Everyone's different. But it's going to take time. And with that time, you have to really look into yourself. You need to see, maybe you have to make improvements about yourself. Or maybe you need to learn to just accept some things about yourself that makes you you. This was definitely helpful to my journey. I think this was like a really good book to even start my journey, to help me open up more in my journey. It made me realize like, oh, okay, like this is step 1, taking my time to learn to love myself, I really did like this book. This was definitely one of the things that helped my journey the most. What I do to aspire from this book is definitely, once again, learning to love myself, being comfortable in my own skin. And if ever, as a position in my life were to change, like how it was changed in Charlotte, to learn how to regain it back, like how she did. How she took the time to look at herself again, and how, you saw yourself as this one beautiful person, and now you're still a beautiful person, just in a different position. My favorite 3 quotes my first one had to be, I'm always happy, Sasha said. Sometimes I just forget. And this quote really stuck out to me the most because in life, we're hit with so many obstacles, and it's really hard to, remember that, oh, we're happy. And when you remember that you're happy truly as a person, that helps that self-confidence. With self-confidence, that helps you're able to handle your obstacles better. You're able to handle your positions better. And any, position that you're put into life. With self-confidence, it helps, you always have to remember that I'm happy. Another quote is, she gave up the rest. That relief was physical, like releasing a long, tight breath that corroded her lungs for too long, letting it go because it was stale, oxygen was gone. I like this quote because this was finally the time that Charlotte really learned how to accept herself. That she had to let go of her old self and gain this new person who was more in love with herself, had more confidence, and was more strong into herself. So this quote definitely did stuck out to me the most. And my last favorite quote had to be, we are what we see. This quote stuck out to me the most because it made me realize, okay, I see myself as this beautiful, young, talented girl. That's what I am to people then. When you see yourself into a positive way, in a positive direction, that's what you're going to come out as. That's what people are going to see you as. But if you see yourself as, this negative, just negative ways of how you're going to say it, as you are as a person, then people are going to see that too. I would definitely rate this book an 8.5. The reason why I'm giving this book an 8.5 is because the book is great. I love it. And what I love about the most is the vocab. It has so much vocabulary, and I'm really into learning new words to always put in my writings and my essays and everything. But what I didn't like is it takes a long time to get into the story. I had to push myself to really get into it. I had to constantly with a new book, if I'm interested, I don't have to remind myself, I have to read my book. But this book, it took me time to, really get comfortable with it, to really learn how to like the book. I would definitely recommend it to my friends or just people in high school in general, because high school really is the time where you learn to love yourself, where you learn to gain self-confidence. Even in college too, at your young age, you're hit with so many different things and how we see the world today and how people see other people. And so I would definitely give it to anyone younger than me or anyone older than me who's learning to love themselves. And that is the end of my vlog. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.